Well, none of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Children have to go back to the roots, yeah. None of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Children have to go back to the roots. I'm telling you now, the truth, the truth. Telling you, yeah, the truth, the truth. You have to go back to the roots, roots to the roots. Yeah, man, you know, this is Benjamin out of the Smiling Coast, West Africa, Gambia, representing for the one and only Abu, the big man you don't know, the Soninke warrior, the man that brings the truth, Soninke warrior, the sign of enlightenment, the Soninke warrior, the righteous and the true African. Abu, reveal the truth to them, you know, no matter how them try run from it, because none of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Yes, we have to dig back the roots, yeah. Fire!
Subscribe now.
I remember the days, all those years ago that never fade away. And I remember your face when you hit the ground. I can recall the time and place on a midnight walk through the old streets, trying to turn back the clock to the days of old, back to the days when all the things we knew were made of gold. As the world moves on, time sings a song. In the old neighborhood, as the clock strikes one, the memory lives just as it stood, like a quiet.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Afridamus Report. I'm your host, Afridamus. If you're new here, please make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, and feel free to share the video. I want to welcome all of you to another beautiful show, and we are going to have a great conversation. You guys remember last week we talked about the illegal African immigrants in New York City, and I saw like some of you were like so upset, said, you know, wrote long list of your grievances, and I'm like, wait a minute, why are you upset at me? Like, what did I do? I didn't do anything. I'm just breaking down the news and analyzing it, and you know, it's about right or wrong. And I get it. Some of you, especially the crybabies, you have this why me syndrome. Why me? Oh, why are you talking about the Africans? Do you have a suggestion? Do you want me to talk about the Chinese, the people from the moon? Any suggestion? Well, I got great news for you guys today, because guess what? The UK, the United Kingdom, you know, those of you that don't know where that country is in Europe, okay? And the United Kingdom also have the same problem that the United States is facing right now. Do you guys know there are hundreds of thousands of people that are headed for the border, the United States, to enter? So the UK also is facing the same exact thing. So now the UK came up with a law. So the law is called the Rwanda Bill. So we're going to break that down. You know, I'm going to delve into, you know, the intricacies of this law. And before we get into it, I'm going to take the time to show you guys, you know, the country that the UK is looking to, you know, relocate the people that come in there illegally. And before you start criticizing Rwanda, you know, Rwanda is a beautiful place. I've heard most of you talk about it, even the blacks. They've made videos. I remember how most of you are like, the other African countries should be like Rwanda. Last year, I believe it was Uganda who also entered a deal to accept some refugees. So the UK already signed an agreement with Mr. Paul Kagame, the president of Rwanda. He said, no problem. He is open, to accept asylum seekers into Rwanda. I mean, I would do the same. I mean, 20 billion pounds. Yeah, they are willing to pay him 20 billion pounds. So they're going to come there, and they are not only talking to Rwanda, they are also talking to Tanzania and Botswana. And if money is on the table, yes, the Africans are more than likely. They are more than likely to accept the money. You guys know this. So, Rwanda is a beautiful destination. And I think, this would create more diversity. Because, a few years back, this was a popular thing where, like the woke people, quote unquote, they would match, they talk about how they want to, dismantle Western civilization. And it looks like the mission is definitely on point. But before we go there, let me take you to, quickly to New York City. New York City is currently facing the same exact thing that, the UK, they've been going through this for years. Okay. So they are like, look, we've had enough. Now, if you want to seek asylum, you would have to go seek your asylum in the beautiful country of Rwanda. So maybe, just maybe, America might be listening to. Who knows? They might also start thinking, you know what? Why don't we start, find us a beautiful country in Africa, a separate one, and also send people there. And I'm already seeing some of these Africans who they claim to be Pan-Africans. They talk about how beautiful Africa is, but now they are about to look at, I can't believe if I hear any of you Pan-Africans come here and started making it seem like it would be a punishment to send one to Rwanda, you would no longer have a chance to ever come back to this channel and call in to tell us about how beautiful Africa is. Okay? So here, let me take you to New York City, right? Because what this illegal migration does is it bleeds the city, big time. I'm talking the tax dollars, they go into it big time. While New York City right now, New York City have, from what they recorded, 49,000, homeless Americans, 49,000. But as of yet, the illegals, people that they brought there, they are over 50,000. And they are the ones getting all the free stuff. So the people that are saying, why are you talking about the African? Well, didn't you see me play the clips here? Like, literally, like, you want me to not play, the clips of what is actually happening? Do you understand that you can pretend that this is not real, but it is real? I'm not the one creating this. I'm just here to report it. So let me do my fair use and show you New York City first. Then we would go to the UK and you would hear what the Prime Minister in the UK is saying. He said, if you show up here illegally, we are sending you to Rwanda. So let me do my fair use and we'll see the news from New York.
milestone. There are actually now more people seeking asylum in our city shelters than there are homeless New Yorkers. Today, News 4's Melissa Russo got an exclusive look inside the first stop for new arrivals. We're talking about the Roosevelt Hotel Processing Center, Melissa.
Yeah, Natalie, walking into that large waiting room today at the Roosevelt Hotel in Midtown, it was hard not to be struck by the magnitude of this migration crisis, shouldered almost entirely by the New York City taxpayers. But also, you're struck by the humanity.
So walking through these doors every day, more than 400 people per day.
It's one thing to hear the numbers. It's another to see today's newcomers all in one place. Little ones wiped out after walking for months to the border, then riding for days on a bus. Leonardo from Venezuela says his kids are happy to be here after crossing so many rivers and rocks in the jungle.
So you guys see how beautiful that hotel is. So these people, they walk through the jungle, swim through rivers, and, because Africa is so far away from America, but the Africans also went through this route. The ones that made it, they went through the jungle, they swim through the rivers, I mean, this is a real trek. So when people come up here and start babbling, in fact, there's a new policy. Some of the people that call in, if you are tired of hearing them out, you can pay $10. I would remove them for 60 minutes. And if you pay 20, they would be out till the next show. Feel free to do that. So here we go.
And to already have a new pair of shoes.
My heart breaks a little bit, and I have these conflicting feelings.
Deputy Mayor Ann Williams-Isom says she's proud of the care the city is offering, but sad that it's unsustainable. Over the weekend, the city reached a critical tipping.
Do you guys see the numbers here? So homeless Americans, 49,700. Migrants, the illegals, 50,000. So, okay, she said her heart breaks. Can you believe that her heart really breaks? So the illegals, they get sympathy. But the actual homeless Americans, oh, there's no sympathy for those people. Those people can sleep in the cold. They can sleep in the subway. And even like I walk around and I see the homeless people, homeless Americans, white people, black people, they get no help. They're not going into hotels. So something smells fishy here, okay? So you see how beautiful that hotel is? So now the scales have tipped towards the illegals. Let's continue.
Point for their already jam-packed shelters. The 49,700 homeless New Yorkers in shelter now outnumbered by 50,000 asylum seekers.
Right now, the city is taking care of close to 100,000 people in this system with no end in sight.
We've done so many vaccinations at the arrival center here that we've almost exhausted the vaccine supplies that we've had.
The Roosevelt Hotel in Midtown offers medical and mental health screenings, rooms to more than 800 families with children, and a way station of sorts for new arrivals who have the potential to depart from New York.
And to help you to establish your goals and to see what we can do as a city to help you get there and to give you that critical period of time to enable us to get through to those friends or family members across the country and then to rebook you so that you don't have to enter our city system.
But many migrants don't have friends or family here, and the city is not saying how many of the roughly 400 who come in each day have been rerouted somewhere else.
So those of you that like to come here and be like, man, I can't believe Afridamos, you are talking about this. Well, let's listen to these African women here, because just because somebody immigrates to a country, they didn't come there illegally. Let's hear her out.
Citizen since 1980. I didn't come that way. I passed through the right channel. Why don't them pass through the right channel? They should secure the border.
New Yorkers.
She said secure the border. I bet you she's probably going to vote for Trump. She wants that big, beautiful wall to be built. And I know what some of you are thinking. Oh, she came to America from another country. She came through the front door. They know who she is. When she got to New York, I bet you they didn't take her to that Roosevelt Hotel. No one is saying people cannot come to America, but they say come through the front door. That's what, you know, the woman, she sounds like she's from Liberia or one of those countries. She was a citizen since 1980. So let's hear more here.
Concerned and surprised by news of the tipping point, the burden almost entirely on city taxpayers.
It's surprising because I feel like maybe it's kind of happened very quickly, and the homeless crisis has been prevalent for a long time. So it sounds like it's a big issue and they need to figure out what to do.
After 1 month here, Ava says they've given her everything she needs for her 3-month-old daughter. Her husband Elkin says the treatment has been excellent.
You guys hear that? So think about it. If you're like a homeless American, a veteran, you know, like you're watching this and you've been homeless for a while, you fought for this country, and you're just hearing Eva here and her husband, they gave them the, you know, baseball hat, the New York baseball hat, they gave them nice shoes, and they said, you know, we got everything. They are happy, you see. And can you blame these people? You can't blame them, because somebody invited them and said, hey, come on through. You know, we'll give you free stuff. And hey, here they are. So somebody's trying to bleed, you know, New York City and America of their tax dollars, like they're doing with the UK, Germany, and other countries. So here we go.
He says we appreciate the mayor of the city of New York.
And the asylum seeker.
All right. So you guys see that? That's from New York City. So now we're going to go to the main dish. That is the UK. So the UK for a while and other European countries have been dealing with, you know, with this illegal migration. They also get people from all over. And, you know, some of our African people do go there. That doesn't mean we are not going to talk about this. And they feel entitled. Some of them are probably here in the chat, you know, they're not liking this analysis, but, you know, I have to inform the people about what is going on so they know about their new destination. So the UK said they've had enough. They said they cannot take it anymore. You know, they get people from all over the world. They get people from various African countries, Vietnam, Afghanistan, China, just like the United States is the new frontier. So for whatever reason, these migrants, illegals that enter Europe, they would come through France and then they go through the English Channel into the UK. And when they say UK, they don't only stop like in London, those places, even, what's the name? Ireland, Scotland, all those countries, you know, are going there, you see? So now the UK is like, okay, we have to find a solution, you know, because it's, you know, you cannot enter Rwanda illegally, you know, like to go there in groups. So they figured, you know, back then, I remember just 2 years ago, whatsoever, they said Rwanda was not, they don't practice human right. It's not, they don't follow the human right. But now, guess what? Rwanda is now, they are following the human rights. And in fact, some of you that are watching me, if you happen to be an illegal in the UK, your new destination to Rwanda, I would give you the advice on what not to do in Rwanda. You know, in Rwanda, if you go there, you mind your own business. You don't talk bad about, you know, their politics. You don't try to impose your own, you know, culture on them, or try to tell them they gotta respect your religion, or find you translators. All that stuff doesn't play there, because the UK, they only pay 20 billion pounds to Rwanda. So if they want to start hiring, like translators and finding people who are gonna, for instance, cook you your cultural meals, or like asking for automatic citizenship, and that could be a problem. So let me show you what Rwanda, in fact, looks like. Rwanda is a beautiful place. Here we go.
Well, you only need the light when it's burning low. Only miss the sun when it starts to snow. Only know you love her when you let her go.
Looks just like the UK, right? So, so before you come here and start calling the president of Uganda, not Uganda, Rwanda a sellout, because I know most of you are right there right now. Your lips are burning, your fingers are burning. Those of you that call yourself Pan-Africans, you're over there like you're just pissed. Do you guys remember? In fact, I suggested Namibia the other day. Namibia. I was like, it's Namibia, the population is small. It's a huge country. And, the roads are paved nice. It's built by white people. So if you are so used to white amenities and white buildings, the structures, it's built by Germans. Those of you that love going to Germany, whatever. Well, Namibia, the structures are built by, the Germans that used to be there. But now let's go to the UK. Let's hear from the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom here. And by the way, you can't call him racist either. You see, the UK just checkmate all of you that like to go to the race thing, because even him, his parents, they immigrated there to the UK through the front door. And, he eventually became the Prime Minister. So the racism finger out the door. And if you think, I would want to hear your reason why it's a terrible thing to send one to beautiful Kigali. Yes. Spellcaster, thank you for the super chat. It's a A1 salute to all Africans worldwide. Thank you for the super chat. Guys, don't forget to hit the super chat. We do accept donations here as well. So, we can maybe, put some package together for some of our, new residents that would be going to, what is it called? Rwanda. So here we go. This is fair use. The British Prime Minister.
Enough is enough, and I mean it. And that means I am prepared to do what must be done. So early next year, we will introduce new legislation to make unambiguously clear that if you enter the UK illegally, you should not be able to remain here. Instead, you will be detained and swiftly returned either to your home country or to a safe country where your asylum claim will be considered. And you will no longer be able to frustrate removal attempts with late or spurious claims or appeals. And once removed, you should have no right to re-entry, settlement, or citizenship.
All right, so you guys heard that. So this is the Prime Minister of the UK. He's saying next year, that's this year. So let us see what they said, what's happening this year as we speak, because they've shook hands with Paul Kagame. He accepted the money, and you guys, you can't come back and say, oh, how dare Paul Kagame, accepts 20 billion. But what is wrong going to, sending somebody to Rwanda? Are you trying to tell me now, you're about to tell me Rwanda is not a good place to be? So, you know, I'll let you guys tell me that when the lines open. So this is for fair use. I'll give you a short clip here and then I'll open up the line. Here we go.
British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak's Rwanda Bill is set to become law after months of standoff in Parliament. And he promised on Monday to send asylum seekers to Rwanda within 10 to 12 weeks.
No ifs, no buts. These flights are going to Rwanda.
The policy would mean any asylum seekers who arrive illegally in Britain will be sent to Rwanda in a bid to deter dangerous cross-channel crossings in small boats and destroy the business model of people who smuggle them. The first planned deportation flight in June 2022 was blocked by the European Court of Human Rights, before the UK Supreme Court last year declared the scheme unlawful. The bill that passed on Monday designates Rwanda as a safe destination in a bid to overturn the ruling. Sunak said on Monday the government had booked commercial charter planes and trained staff to...
I was muted. Did you guys hear that? So Rwanda has been declared a safe destination. So he said there's no ifs or buts about it. If you enter illegally, this plane that you're seeing, you are going to be going to a safe destination. Why is the Prime Minister, in a way, he's talking us in a way like going to Rwanda would be a bad thing. You know, that's not what I heard. I heard Rwanda is a beautiful place. I've seen the videos. So here we go.
Take migrants to Rwanda. He hopes the policy will boost his Conservative Party's flagging fortunes before an election later this year. Tens of thousands of migrants have arrived in Britain in recent years by crossing the English Channel in small boats, many of whom are fleeing war and poverty from across the globe. Stopping the boats has become one of the government's top priorities. But critics say the plan to ship migrants to Rwanda rather than handle asylum seekers at home is inhumane.
Wait, are these people serious? Are they saying if you get sent to Rwanda, that's inhumane? Come on. They can't be serious. How can that be inhumane? They already declared Rwanda a safe destination. So you get to pick, right? When you arrive there, they would ask you, do you want to go to your country? You know, some of these people are from Afghanistan. You know, some of them are from Vietnam, China. Many different countries. Some of them are from, West African countries. So, so some of you, if you don't know the Rwandan language, the culture, you might want to choose the destination where you came from. Okay, so here we go.
Many are concerned about Rwanda's own human rights record and the risk that asylum seekers may be sent back to countries where they face grave danger. Despite the bill's passage, Sunak may still face legal challenges to the new law. Charities and rights groups say they would try to stop individual deportations. And the trade union which represents Border Force staff is promising to argue the new legislation is unlawful.
Oh man. Why are they showing the Africans? Like, what is going on here? I think these news people, they do this on purpose so the Africans can get mad at me. But guys, I promise you, I am not the one that went and shot this. Because some of you be like, oh, why are you talking about the Africans? Next time you do that, just suggest to me which group you would rather me talk about. Okay? Just suggest that. Because it's like, why me? Why me? Do you have anyone in mind instead? So they are saying, you will be sent. In fact, when I first heard about this, I thought you would have to be from Rwanda. But no, they literally anyone. It's just like the people that when they took those Afghan people to Uganda. So it looks like Paul Kagame and his big brother, what's his name, Museveni, they've found a way to make money. So you can't really, try to come here and say, oh, it's terrible for them to welcome people. Isn't that what you want? So they are going to be sent to Kigali.
Within days of the first asylum seekers being informed they will be sent to Rwanda.
All right. So you guys see that? And guys, the lines are open. The link is in the chat. Feel free to hit that link and come and have the conversation. I have Ola in the house and I have Zulia. Kidola, welcome to the Afridamus Report.
Yeah, thank you, Afridamus, man.
Kidola, you see the news. I just broke it down. What do you think about what these Western nations here are facing? Because a lot of uninvited guests, I'm talking, they are coming in the millions into these nations and expecting, free money. So now the UK, because when Trump was in the White House, he did the same thing too, where when you call in, for example, when you come through Mexico, you go through all those places. So you would have to remain in Mexico and file your asylum there, because some of the people, they're saying they're running away from, issues, but they went through so many different countries. So especially the Africans that are going to be going to the UK through the back door, now Rwanda is a perfect place. They would be like, hey, the same ethnicity, things are similar. So they would be sent there. I want to hear, what do you think about what the UK, about this new Rwanda law?
Afridamus, you see, if I were those Africans,
yeah,
and you know where you're coming from is safe. If you're from Ghana or Nigeria, just please, but tell them you're not going there. You want to go to your real country.
But I mean, Rwanda is beautiful. Didn't you see me play the video here?
These are like what they show in TV. What they wanted to show, that's what you're going to see. You can't go to a country that have genocidal problem. The man is a street. Your freedom of, apart from freedom of speech, your freedom of movement can be restricted, right? I don't know why Rwanda agreed for some, they are
20, they gave them 20 billion. Yes. 20 billion pounds. I think they have 20 billion reasons to accept this.
Some of these Africans, they are not the same as Rwandans. Let's just be honest. They are totally different people. I think these people will be mistreated there.
But in your opinion, like what do you think will happen when they get to Rwanda? Do you think they would provide them with job opportunities? And you see, I showed the big beautiful hotel where they are putting the illegals in. Do you think they would get the same thing? Free housing, free food, because they did give Rwanda a lot of money.
Hell no. Hell no. They will be mistreated. First of all, they will be lucky if they didn't even drive them into this Rwandan and Congo problem fighting there. These people will be, look, you go into a country that their human rights is very, very poor. You're not like them. You are not the same. It's not like Ghana and Nigeria or Ghana and Togo. You go into people that look like Somalian, man.
No, but they are going to send, even if you're from Vietnam or China, because there's a ton of them that are entering these countries illegally. They would send them there too.
No, I think they are sending only Africans there. That's just the truth. They are sending only the Africans there.
But Kidola, but don't you? What if people are like, why are Africans upset that they are sending Africans to another beautiful African country?
Yeah, which is no problem. But why they don't send them to people that they have the same ethnic background than sending them to Rwanda?
No, they get to choose. Like you can you can choose to go back to your country or go to, you know,
if I were just West Africa, I would choose to go back to my country, because what you're gonna do in a country called Rwanda, there's no freedom of some certain things. You'll be suppressed. First of all, you don't understand their food, you don't understand their language. They're totally different from you. You understand? You see what is going on here in England. You can see the same playbook. That I don't actually want to go down to racism, but there's elements, that kind of bias, that kind of sincerity.
No, but hold on, Kidola, for example, right? Okay, are you trying to say that all the beautiful things I have been hearing about Rwanda from the Pan-Africans, they even give the example how other African countries should emulate Rwanda. They said they're economically strong. Now they got extra 20 billion coming their way. I mean, are you saying that's not true?
Afrodamus, you yourself know West Africa is far different from that country called Rwanda. And highest we can go is Congo. Highest West Africa can go is Congo. You understand me? The highest resemblance is Congo. East Africans and West Africans, these are total different people. You understand me? In terms of food, in terms of ethnically, in terms of rhythms, you understand me?
But they're different from the white people too. Europe, they don't speak German. They don't. But
look, if you mess up with this, let me just tell you, if you mess up with a Somali guy in a room, right, it will fling on you immediately. Like, you see, man, no, this is not good for West Africans to go to Rwanda. They should go back to their real original home. What you see playing out now, right, is because Africa. Let me use Africans, the word called Africa, because most of them they will ship to that place. They don't have really right, like what is going on in the United States. You see those Latinos say, "Oh, they treat me good here, they treat me dead." Yeah. As long that your skin is not dark, that's what I'm saying right now. The Latinos are standing up for the Latinos in the United States.
No, but even in New York, it's not only the Latino immigrants getting the free stuff. The Africans are too.
Oh no. Let me tell you something.
Keep talking. I'm gonna take this call.
Let me just tell you the truth, Afrodamos. If you see the way they treat the Latinos in United States, the way they were giving them money in that so-called Chicago, compared to these Africans in New York, the way those were have to even beg to able to get something, they were screaming their head out there, and still nothing happened. You know, they ever have to protest. So somebody with this African succeed, they will deport some of them, majority of them. The one that succeed, I hope FBA will not say we create the way for them to come in, because you did stand for them and you never create no way for them. I hope Africans, the West Africans, they should go back to their original home. Don't go to Rwanda. Rwanda are not your people. You don't know these people. Their food is totally different from your food. Their dance almost look like Somali type of dance. Their rhythms is different. You'll be dealt with there severely. Not a time, my man. They might even lynch you there. You know, you go to a place whereby a lot of things happen. They kill themselves heavily. Thousands of people died out of machete. That what you going to? Then you go back home. It's the best. Somebody just have to come in, please. Hello.
Go ahead, Zulia.
Okay, yeah. Hello. Very relevant topic. I'm glad that someone is talking about this issue, which is an issue that's being seen across the world, particularly in Western countries. I just want to say this: the UK, and that includes Ireland, is sick of illegal migrants. There's an increasing anti-Muslim and anti-Black sentiment throughout Europe, as has been for a good few years now. And in terms of the UK, there's been numerous high-profile crimes done by immigrants, migrants of Middle Eastern and Sub-Saharan African extraction. This week alone, two Sudanese gentlemen were arrested after 5 migrants unfortunately died while crossing the British Channel in a dinghy that had over a boat that had over 100 people on the boat. One child died, one woman died, and 3 men died. And these two Sudanese guys have been arrested on suspicion of aiding and abetting human trafficking and overloading the boats in order to get some money. One man was from South Sudan, the other was from North Sudan. Additionally, today, a Nigerian doctor who exchanged Botox injections for sexual intercourse in a doctor-patient relationship had his license revoked. This guy was married with 2 kids and decided to engage in sex in a clinic in exchange for Botox injections, right? And then last year we had the Igbo senator who was done for attempting to steal a kidney from a low-class Nigerian and got a medical professional in order to co-sign the attempt to get a donor for his ill daughter. Okay, organ harvesting, right? We also had another story of an African gentleman last year who was found lying, trying to get asylum, saying that if he went back to his home country, he would be killed because he is gay, and he cannot go back to his home African country because if he went back, he'd be killed for being a homosexual. And this is despite the fact he had 5 children with 3 different women. And he also scammed £200,000 worth of money from British people as well. All right. And finally, 2 weeks ago, a Sudanese gentleman was found guilty of trying to set people on fire. That's right. He went out to a mosque. Are you catching this? Are you catching what I'm saying?
Yes. Sorry about that. I had to, take a business call.
I'll make it brief. Basically,
Yeah. Sorry about that, folks. I'm running multiple businesses around here. Because some of us cannot ship ourselves to Mexico and through the illegal route, so we can get the free money. So we have to work. So, but continue.
Okay, so I'll basically summarize what I'm going to say. Basically, a lot of migrants in the UK and Europe, particularly Sub-Saharan African and Middle Eastern, have done a lot of high-profile crimes in the UK. For example, in Ireland, November 2023, a pregnant woman was stabbed by, I believe, an Algerian immigrant.
Oh, you know what? I saw that. I saw it.
Yeah, there was riots as a result because a pregnant woman was stabbed.
So what do you think about the Rwandan bill to send people to Rwanda to go seek their asylum over there? What do you think about?
I think it's a fantastic idea, because I think it's a fantastic idea. It would act as a deterrent, because if so many people are trying to flee economically to leave Africa or to go to more rich Western countries, they'll know they'll be sent back to Africa or to a quote-unquote poor country, and therefore their journey would have been for nothing. All the thousands of pounds they paid to the human traffickers, it'd be a total and utter waste, and they get sent to Rwanda, which everyone says is an autocracy due to Paul Kagame making the place a dictatorship, allegedly, right? They don't want to go.
Well, they said, they just declared Rwanda as a safe place.
They did, but the human rights organizations across the globe, they've always said for a while now that it's an autocracy.
I think they are hating on Rwanda, because I have talked about this. The Pan-Africans said, in fact, it's just a propaganda to hate on Rwanda. I would think they would support, this Rwandan move.
Who said that?
Well, some of the Pan-Africans, they even said other African countries should emulate Rwanda.
The numbers have said that before Haiti went crazy earlier this year, Rwanda had the same GDP per capita as Haiti, right? And that's what Haiti.
Wait, but now they got extra 20 billion. Zulia, what do you think will happen, like when because some of these countries, right? they do not, like when they try to send their people from the UK, America, Germany, they don't accept them. So I see the plan, how Rwanda, how the UK just checkmated these people. So if you get sent to Rwanda, do you think they are doing it because if you get to Rwanda, you get to ship yourself to your actual country on your own?
I mean, I think it will never happen. I think that there will be no planes going to Rwanda. I think it's going to get blocked or it's going to get stopped in some way, and there's going to be very few, if any, people going.
Yeah.
If they do end up in Rwanda, I do think that they're not going to be treated well. I don't think they're going to be repatriated to other African countries. I think they'll just keep them in Rwanda and then let them run wild to another African country probably, and they'll try and make the journey again through a different route. Maybe because they're on the east of Africa, maybe they'll go through Djibouti and try to go through Yemen and go through Saudi Arabia like Ethiopians.
But there's war in Yemen.
But then I know that quite a few people from Djibouti and the Horn of Africa go through to Saudi Arabia through Yemen in order to. That's another major migration port. Is through Yemen through to Saudi Arabia, and that's why so many get killed. There's Ethiopians and Somalis, hundreds were killed over the last few years because there's another major migration point on the Horn of Africa through Djibouti, through to Yemen, and into Saudi Arabia. So maybe they'll try that route instead. It's closer. That could happen. It could very easily happen. It happens a lot anyway now. So in conclusion, I don't think it's going to happen. I wish it did happen, and I think there's going to be more people coming, and unfortunately, more migrants doing high-profile crime. There was a Sudanese guy who was putting people on fire in the UK. He got arrested. He got sentenced 2 weeks ago. This Sudanese guy was going outside mosques, and he sprayed oil on an old 70-year-old and an 80-year-old Muslim worshippers, and then set them on fire. He did that twice. One in Birmingham, one in London. Around
Wait, twice?
Twice.
And he got away with? They didn't arrest him?
He got arrested. He got sentenced last week. He was in court and it was all over the news. And then last year, a man from Guinea-Bissau, I think it was, he stabbed and murdered 3 people randomly, including 2 20-year-olds, in a mental health attack, and it was all over the news. And he was an African migrant, and it was all over the news because he came to the UK when he was like 18 or something, and he decided to randomly stab people, and he tried to kill 3 more. And this is the type of stuff that's happening all over the UK.
So do you think this is more like, to try to, discourage them from seeing the UK as an easy target?
I think all of it, to be honest, is just to try and appease the right-wing element, and the not even right-wing element, the average British person who at this time is feeling a country that's struggling economically and doesn't want more dead weight, who may even kill you for no reason because they have schizophrenia, because they want jihad, or because they're just angry because they're incels and they start trying to grope and rape white women, which also happens in Sweden and the UK and Ireland. So I think a lot of people are very angry, and it's a vote winner if you show that you're harsh towards the enemy, which in this time is immigrants, particularly Muslim and Black immigrants. That's the harsh truth. I'm being real. I'm not saying that's my opinion, but that's just the temperature of the environment we're in.
Oh, okay. Let's bring in Al. Al, welcome to the Afridamus Report. I bet you Al would like this Rwanda idea because Al is a Pan-African. He believes that Rwanda is doing well. So let's hear from Al.
Actually, I live in Asia, man.
Yeah. How you do?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Very fine. Okay. You know what? This is a very complicated subject. As I said the last time, illegal immigration always make it difficult for legal migrants. People that go around the corner, trying to get around into a country illegally, they make it difficult for people that want to go in there legally. It's just difficult. But and also. I'm going to come in a different case because the last time I understand, you was making a case for America.
Today you can. Yeah. This is your neck of the wood. So go on.
First of all, I will start to say in Europe, the British are the most friendly, the most acceptable people. They're very kind. They're very tolerant people. The British. For me, based on my personal experience, the British people are the most welcoming and nice people I ever come across, right? I don't know about the other European countries because they're very hostile towards black people. I can see why people want to come here, at the first place.
Wait, Al, is that why they don't stay in France? They take the English channel to the UK?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the much.
But there's plenty of Africans in Italy, Germany, and
yeah, but they get treated badly over there, man.
they seem to love it. They're not leaving.
Yes, but the thing is, they want to come here to get more of the goodies, and we had enough of it. This place is an island. The UK is an island. The UK cannot take everybody, from all over the Middle East, because most of them are coming from the East and the Middle East. Let's get it clear. African migrants are coming here, that's true, but they're a very tiny minority compared to those that are coming from the Middle East. Even including the Prime Minister's people, they coming in here illegally also. So, he's not making this thing as a racial thing. He's making it as a point of, listen, you cannot come through the way illegally anymore. That's it. The border is shut. If you're gonna come through, that way, we're gonna stop you. And also look at how many people are dying in the English every day, man. These are children dying in that water. And people are traveling from Vietnam to the UK. How did they actually manage to do this? The UK, England is an island, man. How can we manage to?
What do you think about the Rwanda plan?
The Rwanda plan, which is right. I hope they can find a decent deal with a decent country with a larger landmass.
Wait. Repeat that. Wait, are you trying to say Rwanda is not a suitable, destination?
Listen, Paul Kagame is a smart guy. He's making money out of there right now. Yeah, he's not going to work. Zulia nailed the coffin there. It's not going to work. It's nearly £1 million per migrant. It's very expensive. The UK taxpayer, I don't think it's valid for money. And also, the House of Lords might even block it.
They approved it. Didn't you see them all say, yeah?
Huh? The House of Lords. No, that's the House of Commons.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the House of Lords might even block it because they will have to ratify this, to make it legal, when it comes to legal time. And the civil servant might look at some of the case, some of it where they think this is not legal anyway, so we cannot do it. But you know what is a deterrent? That's what they do.
So what are the regular British generally? What do they think about this? What are you hearing in the streets?
I am from the #1 radio station that I listen to, where the majority of the British people call in and they listen to it. They actually think it's stupid, it's silly, it's not going to work, just gimmick, because the current Prime Minister is losing the election. The government at the moment, they are facing a total wipeout coming to the election. So he's playing games, and it's just basically not going to work because it was Boris Johnson.
But the illegal migration is actually a real thing, though.
Legal migration is also a problem.
The illegal, wait.
No, legal also.
Legal as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The legal migration, they think they need to reduce that also because remember they came out of the EU to reduce the total numbers of immigrants coming in. And because most of the people that used to come here, they come here legally from the European Union. And now they realize most of these people, coming here legally actually there are actually more numbers coming in legally from, with visa than the people that used to come in through the EU. So they actually thought this is a very bad deal. So at the moment, they're very, very confused. They don't know what to do with the immigration system. And this is what I don't want, because it's going to make people turn for the right, and it's going to, turn the country, to become more hostile towards immigrants. And also, let's be real, right? The Prime Minister is bringing a lot of his people in the country. And this
wait. So, yes. Are you saying the Prime Minister is biased?
No, not me. This is what the British people are saying. Yeah.
So there's a lot of Indians coming in?
Yes, they said he's bringing a lot of Indians in the country, and he's stopping other migrants from coming in. And because of that, they're gonna actually toast him out. They're actually watching this game. So, so at the moment, this is not me saying it. This is what I hear people saying. So that's one of the reasons why, in fact, the last taxi driver that dropped me, he told me that, and he's an English guy. He said the Prime Minister think we're silly. And I thought, why is he bringing immigration subject to me? Is it because I'm a black man? But the reality is they're not happy. They can see the game, and they want him gone. That's to start with. They don't want him at all, and they want the immigration to be sorted out. And I don't know if you know this. The guy that's running the immigration, the Home Secretary, he's a Sierra Leonean, right?
Oh man, so the UK, you know, they fill their positions with feathers. Is that what I'm hearing?
Well, basically, they used to have most of the people coming in from the EU, from Poland, you know, and all these Eastern European countries.
So at this point, the UK is done being UK. Is that what I'm hearing?
They had the British people had enough. You know, the British people want their country back. Basically, they want to control the amount of people coming in, right? At the same time, they want to make sure immigration is controlled, you know, based on how they voted. You know, because they wanted the country to actually put a tap on the numbers coming in, you know, and the numbers going out. So in the last 2 years, there's more people coming in the UK legally than the people that used to come in through the EU. So they're thinking, I'm going to be, what's the point of voting Brexit?
But Al, you being a Pan-African, I'm actually surprised by your take on Rwanda.
I'm a Pan-African, but I live in the UK.
Because so do you think?
Africa. Yeah.
So do you think if they pass it, if they succeed, do you think the law is going to be fair? Do you think they would mostly just send the Africans there, or they're gonna send everyone?
After Rwanda had a similar deal, if I'm not mistaken, with Israel, and guess what? These guys landed in Israel, in Rwanda, and then eventually these guys got they left Rwanda, and they did what Israel had to close the deal. And also the places that the UK actually expect these migrants to settle when they go to Rwanda, it's not even been sorted out yet. And the numbers that will be going to Rwanda is not even more than 500, even if it's going to reach that figure. So it's more like a deterrent.
Well, they are talking to Botswana as well, and
Botswana
and Tanzania.
No,
and where?
Botswana said they will not take one single migrant from the EU. They won't do it.
Well, that's what the politicians are saying, but let's fight. You know, I mean, we don't know what's happening behind closed doors. You know, when they, you know, maybe if they start greasing some palms, you know, who knows what they're gonna say.
Yeah, I know. Unfortunately, they had enough. They just want the immigration number to be normal, and they want the if not, to be honest, they will go back under the EU. If they cannot control legal migration, they will go under the EU. The guy that's, as I said, the guy that's the Home Secretary, the guy that is actually dealing with this, is a guy from Sierra Leone, James Cleverly. You know, his mother is from both. You know Sierra Leone very well. His mother is from both. That came here years ago, during when our people started coming here. You know, before the war in Sierra Leone. But the reality is, he had enough. He's one of the guys actually putting pressure on this. To be honest, you know,
putting pressure on who?
On the immigration. He's actually carving even legal migration at the moment. He's cutting it down.
So from what you're seeing, because last time you didn't have the same energy when it was America, what do you think America can learn from this?
I think America is a big country. You know, the last time I went there, the infrastructure is down. You know, they have enough jobs. America is a different whole ball game. It's not a land of natives. You know, everyone in America are, you know, immigrants. I think it's a different ball game. I think America can actually take some of our immigrants over here, actually.
Wow. I see. You know what? I see how you roll. So if it's for America, where you're far from, you're like, sure, America can take, you know, illegal immigrants, but if it's right around around you, no, America should not.
For them, the UK is an island, right? And also, this refugees, according to United Nations Convention, Dublin Convention, any immigrant, basically, you're safe if you run away from a war zone, right? The first safe place that you land is where you're supposed to seek asylum. So France, Germany, Belgium, Italy, all these countries are safe, right? Basically, why didn't they claim asylum in those countries, but they actually died in the channel, you know, crossing to come to the UK? Why?
Yeah, but that's what America also was saying. Like, these people go through so many countries before they get to America? So Trump said, you know, stay in those countries, because if you're running away from, you know, issues wherever you're coming from. He says, stay over there. And we have people coming all the way from Congo, coming through that border. So, like maybe America might suggest this program is a good program. Be like, Congo is next door. Because that one Congolese woman was complaining that American people don't speak Lingala. Well, I bet they speak Lingala in Rwanda.
Afrodemos, let's be honest, right? Rwanda, is Ghana has been pillaging Congo for years, right? And they have even, in fact, let me make this thing clear. The deal that the UK currently signed with Rwanda is also taking some Rwandese to come to the UK. So it's like a it's like a trade. It's like a trading people from one place to another. So I will take few Rwandese to come over here, but then you can accept some of my asylum seekers from the UK to Rwanda. So it's that sort of deal they also have. So it's not as clear as we thought. But I think countries like Congo, all the surrounding countries, they need to be helped also. But I think we need a deterrent. We need something to stop them, crossing the channel every day and just walking in the country, in the island.
Man, last week Al was just, when it's America, he said, yeah, bring them in. But the UK, Al, you sound like a Nazi right now, white supremacist. Like, what's going on, Al?
No, Afrodemos, no, I'm not. I'm just speaking it back because I've been here long enough, and I know these people are very grateful. They're great people. They're very kind and very accepting.
So you don't think American people are kind?
No, America. Look, come on, let's be real. Americans, they kind. I'm not saying that.
Okay.
Right? But I'm talking about Europe. Europe, they're nasty down there, bro. So you cannot compare them. So that's what I'm trying to say. You don't want people to come here and take the advantage of the situation. And also to you, Zulia, let's be honest, yeah? When you're talking about African immigrants committing crime in the UK, there's no more criminals in the UK than your dusty Caribbean people, man. Jamaicans destroy immigration.
Actually,
Jamaicans make it difficult.
Man.
Jamaicans make it difficult for black people in the UK. Yeah, you the one that tarnish us in this country. They're not you personally, but the Caribbeans tarnish black reputation in the UK. So stop.
How do they tarnish the reputation?
The biggest gangs in the UK are from Caribbean. Don't bring that.
No, they're not actually.
You know, I know.
No. I'm not saying Jamaicans were not involved in crime, but Africans are committing.
Some of the Africans that are born in London, you know why? Because it was targeted by Jamaicans when they were young. This is the beef that went on. Southeast London and South London, the Caribbean kids here was targeting African kids that was doing nothing to them over the years. And now the African kids got the upper hand. They're fighting back against the whole thing because that's the reality. You Caribbean guy never loved us African brothers here. He was killing the African kids that was going to university, and bringing them down. When you don't actually see that, if the African kid refuse to be part of the gang, you treat him like a coward. Just be real, bro. Yeah, we know what happened here. I grew up here with you guys. I came here as a teenager, bro.
So now, Africa's putting a lot of crime against everyone. That is the Jamaican fault. Now, as in 2024, the crimes that are being committed by African people in the UK as of right now, which are documented, which there are plenty, and that's true too. But
you Caribbean brothers used to wait for African kids outside their school and stab them and jump in them and doing all kind of horrible stuff to them, bro. You never done that to the other race, but you done that to the Africans, right? So why are you sitting there making up like Africans are committing crime in the UK? Africans are the most hardworking migrants in the UK and very peaceful and loving people.
That's why 37% of Ghanaians live in social housing and 41% of Jamaicans live in social housing and 72% of Somalians live in social housing. So
Zulia, my people from Sierra Leone are one of the first black people that settled in London. We are never known to be criminals or out there doing things. The Home Secretary, the one that's actually managing the immigration right now in the UK, is from Sierra Leone, right? But all I'm trying to say is, listen, your culture that you brought in this country is what made these black African kids actually are like the way they are. They imitated your culture.
Can I respond to that?
Yes, go on.
I'm going to respond to that. I'm going to say to this. First of all, you used one country called Sierra Leone, when other people could say, hey, look, David Lammy and Diane Abbott, these people were Caribbeans, and they went to Oxford, they got good grades, and they were high positions in Parliament. Therefore, the whole group is functional. That's wrong. You can't do that. You can't use exceptions to clarify a group. That's false. That doesn't make sense. Because you could say, hey, look at David Lammy. He went to Oxford. He's going to be foreign secretary. Therefore, everyone from that group does well. You can't do that. That's selective. That doesn't represent the group. Number two.
So the Woolwich guys.
I'll give him a chance. Let him finish.
And number two, if you want to talk about how strong an African culture is, it doesn't matter how negative a group is. Your culture should be strong enough to resist negative influences, just like the Indians were able to resist the negative influence from the Jamaicans that came on beforehand, because they weren't affected by it. So how is it they were able to resist the negative influence, and you are using the Jamaican influence from a couple of decades ago to justify the dysfunctionality, poverty, crime, single mother rate that is also endemic in African communities in the UK, which is the truth, where 43% of African children in the UK, despite a significant proportion being Muslim, are raised in single-parent homes. It is
wait. Are you saying the Africans they live in the ghetto life over there?
He's talking rubbish, man. Don't listen.
These are true numbers. It's over 40%.
So they're receiving all that British welfare.
That is correct. 72% of Somalians are living in social housing.
Wait, 72?
72% of Somalians, 37% of Ghanaians, and 41% of Jamaican nationals, Ghanaian nationals and Somalian nationals, live in social housing. 43% of Africans live in single-parent homes, and 60% of Caribbeans live in single-parent homes.
So,
and
60% are Caribbean, yeah? You listen to that.
But listen again, that's based on the fact that this African population includes Somalians who are Muslim and Sudanese who are Muslim. If you were to take them away without the Islamic factor, the number would be even higher than 40%. This is something that you need to consider, okay? And these guys, so both numbers are bad, but the point is the difference between the two is far closer than the difference between these two groups and anyone else. They're both struggling badly in the UK, and that's what I'm trying to highlight. I'm not going to use the excuse of a group of people.
Man, now
wait a minute. Are the Somalis living in single-parent homes in the UK?
No, but this is news to me.
Hold on, guys. Allow Abdullahi to chime in too. Abdullahi, welcome to the Afridamus Report. Abdullahi, what do you think about this new UK law about shipping these asylum seekers to beautiful Kigali, Rwanda? The best country, one of the best countries in Africa right now. They're progressing, nice, beautiful, clean roads, and Kagame, he's opening his heart, his hands. He said, come on in. So what do you think about this?
Well, I agree with the move that they're doing. However, it's going to cost England 500. Well, it's already costing 540 million for the first.
The British, they got the money. They got the money.
Well, the British public doesn't want to pay the money. So this is they're trying.
Man, the British public need to stop being stingy, man.
No,
they don't want to give money to.
No, they're trying to avoid a some sort. They're already going through a population collapse in terms of all of Europe is going through that. So when it comes to migrants coming in, their demographics are quickly changing. So I'm with the native British people from stopping that from happening. So I agree with Zulia when it comes to that. But when it comes to certain groups are only there because they're there is some sort of emergency that happened in their country. We're not there just because we want to be there. You guys were gracious enough to allow certain people to come in, and for that we thank them. And but when it comes to having this many people come in, you're going to change the whole country, and for that, you don't want that to happen. In America, what is Al saying? Al's saying something to the effect that America is accepting 300,000 at the border right now, which is a crisis. You cannot have that happening in any kind of sovereign nation. People just coming in and you're just allowing them to come in. Do what? Because you feel sorry? There's millions of people around the world. And some of these people are not even from Mexico. They're coming from even south. They're coming from Honduras.
In fact, do you know the quiet part that's not been spoken? Even though people keep saying, oh, China surpassed America, which is not true. Majority of the immigrants at the border are Chinese.
Oh, yes, there's Chinese people. These are military age men too. They're not women and children that are coming across that can, be excused as being, asylum seekers or something like that. These are young men, able-bodied men. they shouldn't come in. They should go through the proper channels.
Huh.
But I wanted to ask Zulia, what did you say about 70% of Somali people are living with single parents?
Yeah,
I'm
so
trying to.
basically, what the plan is that Denmark. See, I'm a lot smarter than the fool, the immigrant on the other side. I actually come here with evidence that you could check yourself. So basically, recently Denmark ranked immigrants by the amount of crimes they commit. So they look at the nations of people who commit crimes, and in Denmark, Danish people, ethnic Danes, were number 42 on the list of most crimes committed by ethnicity, right? So they said, hey, let's see how it, and Holland did the same thing where they looked at different nationalities to see how many of them used welfare, right? So they tried to do the same thing in the UK, and one news outlet got different countries to look at the biggest countries who are using social housing in the UK. Afghanistan's were 36%, Ghanaian nationals were 37%, Jamaican
Wait, so
nationals.
so Nigerians are not using the council, this welfare there?
It wasn't the top 5. They just chose 5 random
Oh wow,
countries.
so Ghanaians, I never knew they into the free welfare,
They
but
were,
continue.
and
Wow.
Somalians 72%.
Are they single parent homes? Are they? Is this what I'm trying to get?
Well,
to
let me
this
tell you one.
single parent
Let
home.
me tell you. Okay, let me help you guys. Let me tell you one. You see a lot of the Somalis here. Let me tell you, brother. You know how your culture works, right? You know when they say single parent, because that is how they treat the benefit system, right? So they married like 2, 3 wives. Sorry to say this, but they declare themselves as single parent, but really truly they're not, because they're trying to make sure, obviously, the money coming in is from the social, innit? You know what I mean? So by doing that, that means the woman can claim and the man can keep moving around from one home to another. That's how they do it over here. But however, you know, Julia, you should know also another statistic that comes out: the African kids tend to do well, you know, in school than all the other race. In fact, even more than the
You see,
kids.
this guy is what we call a fool. I'm going to get off the panel because this guy is an idiot and he's delusional, and a lot of people here have big egos that can't face the truth. Black Africans actually, in terms of when it comes down to the A-level grades, the top A-level grades, which is the equivalent of the SAT in the UK, in the USA, they are behind Indians, behind Chinese, behind English, behind Irish, and only above Caribbeans narrowly, and Roma Gypsy
That's not true.
families.
That's
That is
not
true.
true. That's not true.
Everyone could go on to see triple
That's not
A
true.
grades at A level, and you will find Chinese at the top, Indian number 2, Irish number 3, English number 4.
What year was
Let me
that?
finish.
What year was that? What year was that?
Bengali 2022 to 2023. I'm a lot better at numbers than you. I swear to God, I am, and I'm telling you right now, you're a fool.
Okay,
Anyone who listens to you is also a fool. You're an idiot. You're a fool. You can't count to 3 and go back and eat a human. You fucking asshole. You lying, arrogant bastard.
Hold on, Zulia, be nice.
Stop being so emotional, man.
Hold on, guys. Let's bring in.
Afrodemus. He just shows his mentality and his people, right? This is exactly how he behaves.
Why should Julia be sorting out when you know you want to click out? That guy is always a coward. You understand me?
Simple as that.
I don't understand what's the problem of that guy always when they want to hit at Africans. Look, let's just be honest. I think he has something against Africans. I don't know if it's his self-esteem or what is right. These Jamaicans never love Africans in that country.
Caribbeans hate us.
They hate Africans a lot. It's now that things are swinging. You see, when these kids started taking over, when the Africans say, it's not just all the Africans, all the West African kids born together and take on these Jamaicans. That will keep the peace. That's just the truth. They were not.
We have to stand up to our ground against them. They were stealing us there.
Yeah, let's bring in. Let's bring in.
Let me just, Afrodemus, please. Ask Zulia, this current government that we have, yeah, how many black MPs, members of parliament that's in there that's from the Caribbean? None. They're all Africans. Anytime you see a black man in the parliament from the governing party, yeah, if they were so educated, yeah, why did you have a single Caribbean MP in there, you dusty idiot?
Okay, let's bring in Chaotic. Chaotic, welcome to the Afridamus Report. Chaotic, what do you think about the UK Rwandan bill? You know, now if you want to seek asylum, they are going to send you to beautiful Kigali. I want to hear your take on this.
I think that, and salute to you, Afridamus, I believe that it is the equivalent of a Saturday Night Live skit. It is absolutely one of the funniest immigration policies on the planet. Imagine hating your own native country so much that you go to the beautiful white man's country only to be kicked out to go to Rwanda. Now, don't get me wrong, Kigali looks beautiful. Supposedly it's one of the safest and cleanest cities in Africa. But the whole purpose of going to Europe, the whole purpose of going to the UK is to be in the beautiful white man's country that looks like heaven on earth, and to a degree that is heaven on earth. And I think it's funny. I think it's absolutely funny. And to be honest with you, and it's sort of like when you were a kid, like if you were an American, and I don't know if guys in the UK can relate to this, but it's sort of like when you were a kid riding in the back seat, particularly with your mom, especially, you know, normally your dad would give in, but you would say, "Hey mom, can we go to McDonald's?" And your mom says, "Nah, we got McDonald's at home." That's the equivalent of the Rwanda bill. So the thing of the matter is that I think that this is poetic justice in terms of an immigration policy or immigration law. I love it. And I want to see how many Middle Easterns and Southeast Asians are gonna willingly go to Rwanda, which I doubt that they want to. I doubt, because again, going to UK is like the equivalent of going to the Super Bowl every day. So that's my answer to that one, Aphrodite. Can I also tackle something real quick?
Go for it. Go for it.
Aphrodite, I believe that the UK and many other Western European countries, I believe that they should do a moratorium on immigration. You Africans, you Middle Easterns, you Southeast Asians with your primitive cultures are tearing up these beautiful countries. You should go back. Hey, Aphrodite, you should go look at pictures of the UK in like the late 1800s, early 1900s.
Oh, I know.
You should look at pictures of Germany and all these white countries and all the beautiful buildings and beautiful roads before Africans, before Middle Easterns got there, man. I don't know why the white man is so goddamn benevolent and benign to let these savages enter into his countries. I would just say, guys, if you're so smart, if you are so smart, Nigerians, if you are so smart, Indians, why don't you just stay in your own nation states and just build there? If you are so industrious, if you are so intelligent, but this just goes to show the beauty of the white man. And number three, I saw a photo of a school in the UK, Aphrodite. This photo was so sad. It must have been 90% African, 2% white, and the rest were Southeast Asians. I said, how does a country like this go down the drain like this? But
well, you know what they said, right?
They did with your people.
Hold on.
I'm talking to this guy, Make America Great Again. Hey, the same way Detroit looked before African Americans moved in and tore down that place.
Aphrodite, I don't speak to guys that are not on camera, so I'm only speaking to you today. I'm not doing this avatar shit today with these niggas who ain't even got the balls to get on camera. Go ahead, Aphrodite. You are not on camera. I'm not speaking to any
only nigga.
I'm not talking to avatars.
Remember that. That's what the white man calls you.
Not talking to avatars. Go ahead, Avatars. I'm not talking to avatars. If you don't have the balls to get on camera can I curse over here today, Aphrodite? If you don't have the balls to get on camera like a fucking man, I'm not speaking to no goddamn avatar. For all I know, you could be a fucking AI. Aphrodite, please go ahead, sir. I'm not speaking to no avatar.
So what do you think? Because I played the clip here. They showed, like last week, I did the show about the Africans that are protesting in New York. So I just played a clip of like this African woman who said, "Send them back." She said, "I came through the front door, so send these people back." What do you think about that?
I did a show on those sorry. I got to be very careful because of your channel too, because YouTube.
Yes,
but
right.
I did a show.
Nice.
I did a show on those sorry moon crickets last week over there begging. Well, how come we don't have access to? We should get priority treatment in the hospitals. We should do this. We should do that. No, you should stay in your own countries. We already have an immigration problem in America. We already have a resource problem in America. Why are you coming over here? And it's not like the majority of you Senegalese, the majority of you Sierra Leoneans are going to be medical doctors. It's not like the majority of you guys are really going to contribute to the overall American zeitgeist. The majority of you are just going to live off the system and be Uber drivers. But let's just be honest with it.
But they were protesting anti-blackness.
Okay, and I talked about that as well. They are protesting anti-blackness because they look at the sorry African American and see that the African American gets his or her way, regardless of the fact that the African American is the wealthiest African on the planet. But they see that the African American gets his or her way, and all they have to say is, well, we could do it the same thing the African American does. We could just beg and cry all day and then lie about racism like they do, so that the liberal whites and all these other groups will have sympathy for us, and we'll get our voices heard in Congress. So that's the same thing that they're doing. I would, if I was in power, I'd kick those Africans out, to be completely honest.
So Kelly, do you think they did that on purpose? Because a lot of those people they're from French-speaking countries. So whoever is creating the chaos, like to say to these people, okay, you can ask for free stuff, and they give them a little bit. Because generally, Africans that come, they want to work. I don't get that.
And I talked about that too. You have a new wave of African that is picking up the bad traits of the African American, begging and complaining. Yeah. How come we need to get translators? No, you need to learn the language. That's what you need to do. Nobody wants to listen. We don't have the money to give you a Wolof language interpreter. We don't have the money to give you a goddamn Lingala interpreter. Do what the people did 50 years ago that came here. Figure out and learn the goddamn language of the United States. Man, I blacked out the other day, Afrodamas, when I talked about those sorry ass Africans that came over here begging.
Well said. So,
Afrodamas, let's just be honest, man. Let's just be honest. You see, I feel sorry sometimes for Africans that actually staying too long in some of all these countries. You see, except you're born there. You understand? I said one day when I was 15, I was made in Sierra Leone. It's a made in Sierra Leone guy. Maybe possibility in the long run, I might want to go back to Sierra Leone because its emotions is still way back in Sierra Leone than in England. You see, no matter what it is, I still believe for black people, for sub-Saharan people, Africa is still the best. You see, when you're young, it's okay to kind of like play around these countries, be around the white man, sing is the best country. When you start getting older, man, the call of your land will be calling you. You know why? That's why it's good to work hard and go and build mansions like me. You know, go and build mansions like me. I was one time in Europe also.
Yeah.
You understand me? I left. You understand me? I left. Yeah, I'm a come over to work, but I left. You know why?
You got tired of it.
No, do not get tired of it, man. But I noticed one thing. You see, when I came, I was young. When I get to the supermarket, man, they all like me. The guys at the desk, they laugh at me. You know, they love me. But let me tell you one thing. By the time you start getting older, by the time you start being in this supermarket, you want to pay in some of the desks and everything. Those chicks that are working there, they look at you, they don't greet you. So say, whoa, what is this old man doing here, man? They don't laugh at you or smile at you anymore. When they raise their head up and look at you, man, this ugly old man. Then when you stay too long, the cold start eating your hips, eating your rheumatism started coming in, arthritis started coming in. They start saying, oh man, you need a hip replacement. You know, please, Africans, man, just make your money. You need a high vitamin D to survive. You know, you don't need these medicines. Chook this one in your mouth today, chook this one in your mouth tomorrow. You know, it's young. It's okay when you're young because you still have that adventurous spirit. Let me just tell you the truth. In this country, the food is not better than in Africa. African food is far more better for African people because we are prone to high VP. You can eat coconut, it will kill your high VP. A lot of potassium out there. What are you going to be eating? Fake chicken? Pump in with antibiotics? What you eating? What is there really? Fake house built with wood, where you can build a block house, castor. You know, what do you want really? You have fruit that is good for you as a black man, that can cool down all the what is this class again? Your radiators in your body that make you have high VP, that make you maybe you might have stroke tomorrow because you're in some of this country. You know the depression actually in Western world, very depressing. You have credit card debt, house loan to pay, that loan to pay, car loan to pay. What you really getting? In Africa, you don't pay no those.
Well,
sorry.
anyway, yeah, thank you. First of all, Zulia, let me make a point of correction, right? Because I'm the one that speaks the truth, right? Zulia, you're right. I just looked at the statistic. The one I was looking at is the statistic on the. No, but just forget about Equidola. It's those in the younger school, because what they said, the African kids at primary school level tend to do really well, but as they get older to the GCSE, level, they tend to drop out, and the Chinese and the Asian tend to rise above them. But there's some other social, basically reason why maybe the parents or they end up with the wrong gangs and stuff like that. But anyway, let's give Julia the credit where it's due, because I speak the truth. I stand for the truth, regardless. I know
you don't have to. That's also in America. The East Asians do well in America, and the Africans don't. So that is, you didn't have to look that up. That's a common understanding of what's going on with the schooling system.
Okay. Anyway, okay. Yeah. But at least the guy made a point, and I disagree with him. But I looked at it, and he's right, and I have to. I'm a guy that speaks the truth, and we live him. Yeah, we have to get that. Give him the credit where it's due.
Okay, but to go back
Number two, where he's wrong, where Zulia is, hello, let me speak, let me finish, then you can come in, right? Stop interrupting.
Okay.
Where Zulia is wrong, right, is saying African people are the ones that are responsible for crimes in the UK, because that's a big statement. That's
no, he said the black people from Africa, some of them they do commit crimes. He didn't say all of them.
Yeah, no, some of them commit crime. Yes, true. Just like every race. I mean, the biggest people are. Listen, Afro-Demos, I live here. I grew up here as a teenager, and I'm still young. I'm not old yet, right? But the people that commit crime in the UK.
Alice, like, I better clear this. Skidola doesn't think I'm old.
just let him know. You Afro-Demos, you got a high IQ. You definitely can listen. Just to make one thing clear, also, the biggest people that commit crime in the UK are the white working class. Right.
But that's their country, though.
No, exactly, absolutely. But after that, do you know who in fact influenced them committing these crimes? Are the Caribbean. The Caribbeans are the one that influenced them, to commit this crime, because they're the one that brought this gang culture. Because they're the one that brought the gang culture in the
Wait, so but you have a lot of Caribbean, like Jamaicans that go to Gambia. They say they are pro-black. They love the African people. Like, what is up with that? And they came from the UK.
The only Caribbeans I'm down with are the Asian. All the others, they just fake. Not all of them. Not all Caribbeans are fake. So you have some decent ones. But what I noticed about the Christian Caribbean, or the Christian Jamaican, because you have like the Rastafarian Jamaican, like Ike, that come here. You can tell he's with us. He's not against us. He's working with us all the way. You have some of them that are actually with us, but I'm telling you, because I grew up with them,
But don't you think this is why the British are tired of it and say, let's just send all these people back?
That's the reason why they deported. That's why they deported Jamaican. Deportation it was actually implemented mainly for them. Most of the flight that was leaving the UK, to outside the country for deportation were Jamaican and Caribbean criminals. Zulia, come and prove me wrong, my brother, because if I'm wrong, you're right.
Hi. The majority of deportations that happened was due to the Windrush scandal, where in the 1970s, 1980s, it was much easier to come across from the Caribbean to the UK due to visa requirements being very low, particularly for Jamaica. And then in 2001, they changed the visa-free access for Jamaica. That stopped, and a reason for that was the Yardi crime epidemic that took place.
Thank you. Now thank you, my brother.
But all the other Caribbean nations are able to come to the UK visa-free still to this day. So if you're from Grenada, you're from Barbados, you're from St. Kitts, you don't need a visa to come to the UK. The only Caribbean island that has the issue is Jamaica. That's the only one. So he is right.
Yes,
That
and no, that's true. That's what I'm trying to say. Mainly the Jamaican. That's what I just mean. Mainly the Jamaican. But other Caribbeans do tend to look down on Africans. Years ago, they used to feel like Africans are savages, we're villages and stuff like that. But now the table is turning around, and Africans are actually, changing. We're actually uprooting ourselves from that, level that you used to look at us. Now you change your ways, and now you regret because in fact, most of the animosity that goes towards black, from the white man goes to you guys.
Al, for example, like Chaotic said, why are these people going to the white man's country and competing against each other there instead of doing it in their homelands?
Well, I don't know. I can't listen. I can't answer to Chaotic. He can say what he likes. He doesn't understand the UK. He understands America. He can speak to him about America, and I'll listen to him. But in the UK, he best just be quiet and listen to me and Zulia talk about the UK issue. He might learn from that. That's all I've got to say to him. But the reality is, the UK, we do have a lot of hatred between the two people. The black Kidola would tell you that they lived in the UK. Black Caribbean and black Africans never used to get on. The cities that I live, the Jamaican and the Somalians kill one another all the time, right? It's only recently that stopped, yeah? And it's wrong because the reality is, we're supposed to work together as people, not killing one another, because it just make other people look at us like savages.
Who's got a noise in the background?
Yeah, is that me? Can you?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, so that's the problem. These people, Europeans, don't know this gang culture like shooting and stabbing and stuff like that. I will give a good example about London, South London, where Jamaican kids used to wait for African kids to leave school. Not long ago, they waited for them outside the school to jump on them and start doing all kind of stuff to them. Most of the gangs. I'll give you what happened to Damilolo Taylor. Remember Damilolo Taylor?
Yeah, in 2001. That wasn't done by
and Bristol here, and Birmingham. The African kids used to get jumped on by Africa and by Caribbean, the Jamaicans out here. And today, listen to me. I'm talking about personal experience. You cannot deny it, bro. Yeah.
I don't know if it's true or not because that's a personal experience.
Yeah.
Wait, guys, hold on. Let's not descend too much into the black wars in the in the UK because
we're talking about immigration.
Yes, immigration. Your prime minister. Your prime minister is listening. In case you guys don't know, so let's not.
Let him listen. He needs to do what he's doing. He needs to stop these people coming in. Simple as that. At the end of the day, it's an island. We can't have so many.
Well, the British said they are tired. So let's go to Abdullahi. He was gonna say something. Go ahead, Abdullahi.
Yeah, no, I was gonna agree somewhat with Chaotic when it comes to America. We cannot have all these people coming in undocumented. Some of these are military-age young men. You could see some of them in California. They can just come off the ocean, and you'll see them on a boat. And just you have joggers and people recording. And these are military-age men. This looks like an invasion. It doesn't look like people coming here for asylum seeking or anything like that. So get them all out of here. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't have the proper documentation, you need to go back to where you came from. You can't be in America. I follow the proper rules.
Awesome. So, guys, we're gonna do our closing statements here because I need to go meet some of my nice, beautiful white clients. I mean, when you give time to white people, you gotta show up. So we will do our closing statements. So. Chaotic, what do you think about me shutting the show to go live up to my time with my beautiful white clients?
I believe that you are doing a great service for your future generations, and you are an exemplary human being to service yourself to the greatest race on the planet. It's best to be on time, speak proper English, because you never know the connections and the networking you can get from associating and doing business with white people. These people are I don't know. I words can't describe how I feel about these people. If it were not for these people, we would be running around with plates in our lips with spears. So it's best to be on time every time. Don't give a bad impression. Don't fit the stereotype, because one thing that white people love is punctuality.
That's
Not
right.
just doing the work, but punctuality. So you're doing the work of the Lord by being on time and ending the show with these Negroes. Yeah, you should have ended it 30, 40 minutes ago. Yeah.
Thank you. Guys, closing statement, 30 seconds each. Kidola, go.
Afrodamus, I don't know chaotic truth. I understand in my walk with the white man, in my do society with the white man, but it's chaotic truth married to the white people. Because sometimes he comes and speak about these white people. I know the white people. I live with the white people. They are my in-laws. All this we talk about, if not for them, we'll be running whatever you want to talk about, the plate is talking about. Kind of like irritate me a lot, you understand? Before the white man, we have our own civilization in Africa, in West Africa. You might live in United States for so long, for years, it's good. This is no problem, bro. You understand me? But the Africans also have their own side of civilization also. That's also very, very important to us. I'm from the Benin Kingdom, the Great Benin Kingdom. I don't hide it. If you come to the Great Benin Kingdom, you see civilization there. So it's not the white man that teaches us how to carve the iron gold, or called the iron smith, or the golden mask like the Egyptians. We have it.
Tell that idiot. Talk to that idiot.
We have it.
Thank you, Kidola.
So what I'm trying to say is this: I is right. It's long time about this refugee, but thank God, that's why if you go to England, you see the way the Africans are born together. Let me just tell you the truth. The Jamaicans are not creating jobs, or the Caribbean are not creating jobs in London. It's the same Africans that are creating jobs in London, because they dominate certain aspects of part of that business there.
Yeah.
You understand me? So the man that is want to claim the Jamaicans are the Jamaica this, most of them are even working for the Africans.
Yeah,
you know
thank
that.
you. Thank you.
The Africans are not coming to your clubs anymore. You people don't come to the African clubs now. Even so, certain type of sectors of jobs in that England you stay is the Africans that dominate that aspect also.
Thank you, Kidola. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes,
I'll go.
Yeah, first of all, from where Kidola stopped, just to let you know, chaotic, before listen, I'm with my kids are mixed race. I have nothing against white people. If you want to pander to them, go ahead. I am just a genuine guy. I don't make up. I don't have to suck up to someone to pretend to love them, and go on the internet to be a pander. I don't do that. For me, I just stand with the truth, right? And the reality is, I came from, they want to tell you, I came from a children of the Mali Empire, part of the Great Ghana Empire, part of the Songhai Empire. I don't know what dust you came from, but bro, we built something in the past. We are heading somewhere. The reality is, I actually happen to, and the Tuklo Empire also, but I happen to live in the UK, where these people are very nice people. They're very hospitable. They had enough of watching children dying in the sea, crossing over here. France is a safe country. Why didn't they claim asylum in France? They actually have to risk their entire family in a dinghy to come over here. So if the Prime Minister is listening, you're doing a good job by saving children. One single children that saved in that ocean is so many children that have been saved, all right?
Thank you.
On that note,
Jarama. Thank you. All right. Let's have Abdullahi.
Yes. So when it comes to America, I am an American. I believe this is the greatest nation on earth. Uh, I graduated from university here. I went to grad school here. So I cannot say anything but good things to the men and women who created this nation. But I come from an ancient people in Ethiopia and Somalia. We existed, the Aksumite Empire existed way before England. This is before when they were under Roman rule. So this individual, I don't think knows the history of certain areas. But at this moment in time, America is the greatest nation on earth. Western Europe is the greatest part of the world. So when we're at that area, we need to follow their rules. We need to follow their regulations. We cannot replace them. This is their homeland, especially England. America is a nation of immigrants, but still, we need to follow the proper rules there. But the way this individual is talking about white people, I mean, I can't believe this is a human being. Is this a man? This is a man with two balls, like talking like that about another man. Like, I don't get it. Like,
Thank you, Abdullah.
Good for him though, man.
Thank you. All right, let's get Zulia. Go ahead, Zulia.
Okay, so I just want to say something. The reason I have no problems with Africans, and I'm particularly Southern Africans and Eastern Africans, yeah? My issue is that some West Africans are so delusional and egotistical that they try and avoid the numbers that are available. So Al talking about stuff about politicians in the UK who are African, these people all have white partners, okay? And some of them are half Africans and half whites. And the thing is, these are token hires, okay? Sportsmen, mainstream music, politicians, it means nothing. These are things that don't help your homelands. They don't help the culture. They don't help anything. These are just a small number of people who have been selected by the powers that be to push an agenda or to do the job that their white masters tell them. And if you use that as an example to get self-esteem, your group will never improve and the real problems will not be fixed, okay? So that's why I get frustrated, is because just because you want things to be a certain way doesn't mean it is. And a lot of guys like Al and Kadola, they especially Kadola, big up certain countries as if they're such great places, but so many people leave. They big up their people, but they don't pair up with women who are from their own group. So a lot of the things they say are just removed from reality, and they go against things that they actually do that goes against what they say. There's a mismatch, and that's why I get frustrated. So in conclusion, Europe is fed up of non-Europeans, be them Indians, be them black, be them Muslim. They don't want any more. And the more people pretend like we're in a place where it's safe and good and our homelands are safe and good, these things are not true. So if they do kick us out, where can we go? And that's something that needs to be solved. Thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you. All right. Chaotic, you get the last word.
I predominantly salute to you, man. Great panel. I have to tell these Africans, man, you know, as much as they pretend to love their culture, it's ironic that they all want to live in the white man's nation. You know, they all are living in the UK or France, and they're still waving their flags. Let's be honest, they don't have any pride in their nation state, because they would have stayed in their original nation state. I get it, man. As a man, you have pride, but we have to admit the white man, he is the greatest human being that has ever come about. And every day, the African and the Middle Eastern and the Southeast Asian and even the Asian, the Oriental, should be on their hands and knees thanking this white man for all of his inventions, all of his systems, etc. If it wasn't, and just like EAE said, if it wasn't for the white man, we wouldn't have this YouTube panel. You know, we would be sending messages through pigeons. You know, notes.
Can I give the credit to the Chinese?
Yes, sure. We give some credit to the Chinese. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Thank you, Chaotic. Thank you.
Yep.
All right, guys, that brings us to the end of the show. I'm gonna go run some, like I said, some stuff, some errands. You know, you gotta be on time, like Chaotic said. You know, maybe some of you can also practice that. You can't tell people I'm gonna be there 3 o'clock and then you show up at 5. So that doesn't work. Either way, beautiful show. I want to thank all of you for coming in. The panel, great discussion. We can agree to disagree, but at the end of the day, everyone gets to speak. That's what it's all about. Freedom of speech. We accept that here at the Afridamus Report, as usual. And feel free to like and subscribe to the channel. You know, share it. And you guys know it's all about love over here. Some might not like it, but that's not what it's about. You know, we stick with the facts and facts only. Until next time, I'm out.
Baby girl love my bop and I like me too. No roof on my top and my babe see-through. Hating on the pen, don't stop, shit ain't gon' feed you. I've been all on my grind, so why I need you. Baby girl love my bop and I like me too. No roof on my top and my babe see-through. Hating Hating on the pimp, don't stop, shit ain't gon' feed you. I've been all on my grind, so why I need you? Big flex, my swole up, double cup and I'm pulled up. Niggas hating like hold up.